Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It is April 23rd, 2025. The time is 7:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I'll just tap right in. See what storyline Spirit would like to share with us this evening. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. What storyline would you like to share with the collective, please? Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. All right, well. In the central energy, central energy, Six of Swords in the upright. Getting on down the road, leaving something behind. You're transitioning into a different reality, like out of your comfort zone. You're leaving it behind. Uncharted territory. You know, you may not know what's going to happen, but it will most assuredly be different, or at least somewhat different than it was in the past. In the challenge position, we've got the Queen of Wands here, determined to live her life. You know, the vision that I had yesterday was of a house that was just, it had been abused by squatters so bad that it was just in terrible shape. But it's like, if this was this person's home or mind or whatever, she's determined to just keep on going on. And it's ending, releasing the baggage, ending. Somebody might be challenged by your courage. We'll get into that. Five of Swords, yeah. So a bully and a thief. They want to move on to calmer waters. They're challenged by your confidence and your courage. It could be that they've been defeated in a battle, or that they have been part of an abusive relationship and they've suffered some kind of defeat. They want to get out of Dodge, man. In the recent past, yeah, trickery and fraud. Trickery and fraud, and so they've been caught. Deceptive, thievery, abuse, intentions, expectations, please, Spirit. So they're expecting to be bound. They're expecting to receive restrictions. They might be having some kind of negative thought. There's some kind of pressure being applied in the near future. Ten of Cups. Dreams come true, divine love. They could be restricted from having anything to do with this. Blissful, harmonious community. The lens is being looked through. The Emperor. Dominator, controlling, rigid, stubborn, tyrant. Could be what they are. reckless. They might be reckless in the environment. Strength. Strength and courage. Again, same with the Queen of Wands. Strength and courage. Determination. Hopes and fears. We've got the King of Pentacles here. The outcome. What's the outcome, please, Spirit? Well, this came out in the reverse. So the outcome is that you've got the Seven of Swords here. There is, you're holding your own. You've got protection from this Hierophant reversed. From this unconventional, going against the grain, whatever he considers himself. So, yeah, you're standing up for yourself and holding your own in that regard. This is a hypocrite. A hypocrite tyrant. You've got an Emperor reversed and a Hierophant reversed out here, trying to get in the way of this Queen of Wands life and energy and divine love. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Hermit here, soul searching or shining a light on this new beginning. Oh, on this new beginning. And there is, it could be that there's some soul searching. Somebody may be, you're listening to your inner voice. You're in alignment regarding this new beginning. So you're connected to the divine, to the Most High, and you are moving accordingly. The Wheel of Fortune is turning here. It's time for the cycle to change. And you're what? You're making plans for the future. Making plans for the future. Might be leaving home, traveling somewhere. Being generous with your Six of Pentacles here, with your abundance. King of Swords. You know the truth. You know what's going on with this Temperance Angel. Perhaps you are a Temperance Angel. Restoring balance here. And you could be very ambitious and brave. Defending your beliefs. Defending this Nine of Cups. Wish come true. You've got the, look, you've got the Ace of Swords here. So you know the truth. And you're defending this, whatever this Nine of Cups is, you're defending it. And you know the truth of it. And there's celebration here. So, yeah. Somebody's at a crossroads. Passion. Those of the Passion Project who wanted to control the foundation, they could be at a crossroads. They don't know what to do. Because you persevered. You persevered. You managed all of those multiple things that they were doing to you. You persevered, and not only did you persevere, you gained, and you are the sun. There's a rebirth here. You're full of light. You're full of life. And they're in fear. They got to walk away. They're in regret. They got to get out of there because you know exactly what they did in the past, and you're leaving them behind. You've got a victory here, and you're in your chariot, and you're leaving them behind, and now they're in a nightmare. They're in a nightmare, and they could be in an illusion. They could be stuck in some kind of weird fantasy. And you've got your freedom. You've manifested. You've got your freedom, and you're here. You're just going on into the next chapter, leaving these ones behind. This foolishness. This foolishness. So that's wild, man. You got a couple of, an Emperor reverse and a Hierophant reverse that's fighting with this Queen of Wands over her blissful divine love. What a bunch of jerks. They're making mistakes. So what? They want to move on. There's a transition here. They might be transitioning. They want to go to calmer waters. It could be getting a little sticky for them. Holding back. So you might be leaving, you might be releasing that baggage, and you might be holding back these people that should have expressed themselves better. You're releasing the baggage. You're moving on to calmer waters, and they're just like, wait, they're challenged because you're very determined and you're very courageous. You're like, this is my life, man, and you're fighting for it. It's your life. You have every right to live, and you got this Hierophant reverse and this Emperor reverse trying to dominate and just tear you up. Missed opportunity. So yeah, so they're challenged because they've missed their opportunity. Your courage and your determination has caused them to miss their opportunity. They're being held back. There's a transition happening and they're being held back from it. This relationship is ending. They're in a Five of Swords here. They could have been defeated. They might be in an upheaval. They might be in upheaval. They were trying to steal. They're just a bunch of thieves. Dirty little thieves. You have an understanding of their side of the story. You know what they're doing. You know what they're doing. They're brutalizers, tricksters, thieves, liars, sneaking around. They want to talk to you. They want to have a conversation, but that's fraud. It could be that they were talking. Whatever they were spreading, whatever they were talking to people about, it was fraud. It was trickery. It could be they want to talk to you now. Intentions, expectations. They're having a lot of negative thoughts. They could be unable to move on you. I heard them ask earlier if they asked each other, do we have permission? It's like they want to set out on this Queen of Wands, but they don't have permission. It's like their hands are bound. Somebody's not granting them the permission to move forward. They're broken and shattered about it. Reunion. They're being restricted from this reunion. They're being imprisoned because of what they did to this reunion. They're in victim mentality because the Queen of Wands is with somebody. Here, in this divine, blissful union. This reunion here. So yeah, they're restricted from the reunion. They can't mess with it anymore. This divine love. They're being bound from messing with it. Soul tie. You got a soul tie here. A dream come true. Always connected. Yeah, they've been being real bad boys, these ones. Emperor reversed. Reckless and stubborn. Lack of discipline. Guilty. And feeling the pain from the damage they've caused. Strength is here in the environment. Courage and strength. Focus. You're focused. Cool under pressure. You are cool under pressure. We've got a reflection here. Being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. They're hoping for some generosity. Feeling overwhelmed. There's a King of Pentacles here, feeling overwhelmed. They're stressed out. You're strong here, and this reflection is like, oh, so this is a reflection. This is a pretender. This is somebody who's not walking in their own energy. And you're very strong here, and they're stressed out about it. They wanted they wanted your pentacles. They wanted your wealth. You've got this Emperor reverse and this Hierophant reverse with some unorthodox ways of getting rich quick. But you're standing up for yourself. You and your divine soul tie here is protected. You're protecting your stuff. You're persevering through this challenge. Maintaining control. This Hierophant reversed is going against the grain. They really want to, they're a hypocrite. They're a hypocrite, basically. They're a hypocrite and everybody's gossiping about it. They could be afraid of what people are saying. It's an unexpected outcome. Soul contract. They're unworthy. They're unworthy of a soul contract or your destiny or being part of your destiny. They're not getting a new contract. And they're unworthy of being part of your destiny. Unexpected outcome. They want forgiveness. They want forgiveness. In this and to be part of this new chapter. They want to be part of this new chapter. But they're running away. If the runner says he doesn't want to run anymore, their values are still all about money. It's the truth. That's all they want is the money. They don't care about anything else. They were daydreaming. They could be daydreaming of being whoever this is, and they're confused. They want to escape, and it's too late for them to take any action here. So the relationship is ending, and they're being held back. You know, they should have expressed themselves better. They want to get on out of Dodge. You know what's going on. They might have been defeated here. Sneaky bullies being held back, drowning. They're going under. They're going under. Barely keeping things afloat. They're challenged because this Queen of Wands is determined to live her life. She's very courageous. She's got a zest for life. She's not giving it up, man. She's not giving it up. And so they've missed their opportunity here. They didn't act when they should have. They're unable to free themselves from a tangled situation. They've missed their opportunity. They're going under. They're being held back. You're moving on. You're leaving them behind. And you're like, hey, I don't want anything to do with you. And so they're like, oh, shoot. What's going on? That's a defeat is what that is. Because you understand what they're doing. It's abuse, man. And you're leaving. You're leaving. You're in your boat. You're going away. These people were very, very abusive, and their cup is empty. Their cup is empty. You did not quit. You did not give up. You refused to crumble in the face of their brutalization. Hidden even, unseen, you know, masters of trickery and illusion. So this betrayer here, deception, conversation. They might have had a conversation. They may want to call and talk to you, but it's dishonesty. They could have been having dishonest conversations, trying to get you bound from this reunion, or maybe now they are binding. Maybe they're trying to imbue negative thoughts about this reunion. I think that's what it is. They're trying to imbue negative thoughts about this reunion. They could be messing with your head. These people could be messing with your head, you know? Like when you ask a question, they may say something, you know, to get you to think a specific way, trying to get you all in your head and tied up about this reunion. Or it could just be that they are restricted. Now, because of this reunion, because you are reunited here with a divine love soul tie. Yeah, distant, far away. So these people are at a distance and they're still trying to commit fraud with, it appears to me, some form of telepathy. They're trying to insert specific thought patterns to trigger emotional, and they've been talking about jealousy and abandonment issues and this kind of thing. So they're trying to trigger somebody's trauma from a distance, which is telepathic communication. We've got ending in the reverse. So they are restricted from this reunion. They can't bring an ending to it. It's not going to end. It's not ending. They are in victim mentality. They might have been trying to get you in victim mentality, feeling alone and isolated, but you are reunited here. They could not bring an ending to it. No matter what kind of telepathic bullpucky they've been putting out there, they are not bringing an ending to this reunion. It's not stopping it. They're wasting their time. They're going to get in big trouble. The Most High is not happy. You got a divine love here. They can't bring an ending to it. You've got a divine love, a soul tie, and there's nothing they can do about it. There's not a darn thing they can do about it. It's a dream come true. And you're always connected. Yeah, and you're leaving. You're leaving. So you've got your Ten of Cups, divine love. It's a blissful relationship. It's a beautiful soul tie, always connected, and you're leaving. You've taken this crap as far as it can go, and walking away is the best that you can do. This Emperor reversed is guilty and feeling the pain from the damage that they have caused. They're a tyrant, a reckless, stubborn tyrant. Rabbit hole. They could be stuck in some crazy drama. They don't have any peace. You're strong here. You got a subtle power. You're very strong and courageous. And this reflection is, getting clarity. They're overwhelmed. They wanted your money. They wanted these pentacles. Look, neglect. So they weren't paying attention to what's important. This reflection neglected you. You're strong here in the face of this reflection. They could be like a low vibrational person. They're a brutalizer. They're an Emperor reversed, and there's a Hierophant reversed. So they're just this shadowy character here who really gets off on taking other people's things and then neglecting them, right? So anyway, but you're very, very strong. You could be an influencer. They were hoping to get the wealth. They wanted this King of Pentacles wanted the wealth, the abundance, the prosperity. They're overwhelmed. The stress is draining them. They're a reflection. They're a pretender. They're not even a real King of Pentacles. Conquest, just another notch in the headboard. It requires a relationship. They got to get a relationship, a sexual union of sorts before they can tap the ship, right? Before they can offload everything on the ship, take everything in the house and leave it barren. But this time you're out here, you're protected, you're standing up for yourself in the face of this Hierophant reversed. This is a hypocrite. They're not who they say they are. They're bad. They're bad, man. Bad teacher, leading people down a path of incoherency. People are talking about it. They might be afraid of what people are saying. Struggle. They might be struggling. They might feel like they're not being supported. You're maintaining control in the face of this hypocrite. People are talking. They're not supporting this person anymore. They're grieving. They've lost their support system. It didn't work out the way that they had planned, and they've been found guilty. They've been found guilty of making people go without, where their needs weren't met. They were alone, neglected. Not just this Queen of, and everything they built on other people's energy or on this Queen of Wands energy, it's crumbling. It's crumbling. We've got burned and broke their promises. This burned card. They've been hurt before. It's hard for you to trust. You don't trust these people. They're a bunch of liars. They don't keep their promises. And they're reaching out, trying to connect to you, but you're being fierce. You're like, look, get out, weed seed. Don't you be coming near me. I don't want to plant. I don't want any of your shit to grow in my freaking forest. So get lost. Yeah, well. They're not very nice. They're not very nice. You know, they've had a lot of power. They got a lot of power in this particular realm. And, you know, they've been used to it for centuries. They've been having some kind of control. And it seems like these things are ending. We're coming into divine love now. And their passion project, they're just another notch in the headboard for money is going away, it looks like. They sexualize everything. So you're releasing this baggage. You're holding back. You're not giving anything to them. They're drowning. They're going under. They're trying to keep things afloat. It's getting real difficult. You're leaving them behind. Look, they don't know what to do. They're drowning here. They're going under. They're asking for help. They don't know what to do. They're challenged by this Queen of Wands, her confidence, her determination, her zest for life, her courage. She's like, I want to live. And they miss their opportunity and they can't free themselves from this sticky situation because she won't give up. She won't give up. And she's leaving them behind. Imagination in the reverse. So they can't tap into her head. They can't tap into her head. They can't read her thoughts. So there could be a defeat here. They don't know what to do. They're suffering a defeat in this competition. You have an understanding of what their side of the story is. They're an empty vessel. Their cup is empty. They did not get the fruits of your labor. They could not take your life. You refused to give it up. Your life, your stuff. Oh, shoot. They failed and they're under judgment. Their cup is empty. Oh, man. So 7 of Swords, you know, trickery and fraud with conversation. This tells me they're doing some telepathic stuff here from a distance, trying to bind you in the mental body to feel like you're alone, to feel restricted, to feel as though this reunion isn't going to be, you know, any different than what these Emperor and his Hierophant reverse are. So they're doing mental magic here, it looks like, trying to mess you up. But this reunion isn't ending. They can't stop it. They might be restricted. They might be restricted. They're having doubt here. Or this says, I release the need to know all the answers. So they may have doubt now because they can't get this reunion to end. It's not ending. You're here in a 10 of Cups union. It's divine love, blissful love, a soul tie, always connected. And you've taken it as far as you can with these ones and you're leaving. You're walking away. It's the best thing you can do is to just walk away because they're not successful folks. They don't know that there isn't any greater goal than to love. So you're leaving them behind. Those who don't know about love, those who are not successful lovers of life, and you know, that life which supports their own life, they don't have any appreciation or respect for it. So you're leaving them. You're leaving them. You're getting in your boat and you're going away. The Emperor reverse is a dominator tyrant, feeling guilty or found guilty, feeling the pain from the damage they have caused, or got caught up in some crazy drama. They have no peace. They're out of balance. There's strength here. You are strong. Being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. They're neglectful. They're being neglected, or they are neglectful. This reflection, who wasn't paying attention to what was important. Your strength, your power is giving them something to think about. They want forgiveness. King of Pentacles. This is how he gets his stuff, is just another notch in the headboard. Relationship, right? They're feeling overwhelmed. They're stressed out. They don't have any love, and nobody's giving them any love. They don't have any love in them. It was just another notch in the headboard. Sexual relations for money. You know, in order to become this, they go and they hook in, and then they make their withdrawals. And it has nothing to do with love. Nothing to do with love. So you got your Seven of Wands here. In this competition, you are protected. You're maintaining control. You're standing up for yourself. You're persevering through this. And you've got this Hierophant here in the reverse. They're a hypocrite. People are gossiping about it. They're not getting their support anymore. Nobody's supporting them. Service. Struggling. They're struggling with the service. Nobody's supporting them with their services anymore. They don't have access to service. They're struggling. If it's not a team effort, it's best to stand alone. So they're standing alone. It's like, whatever this is, service. They're struggling with service. Honesty. Denial. So honesty, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. This person knows what they've done, and they're in denial. They're in denial. Loneliness, but they're never alone, and they need to surrender their need to control. Alrighty then, so it looks like it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. I mean, what's been going on is really obvious, and I would say that the return of the things that they've been doing to the community, I mean, when that returns to them, it's gonna look real ugly, and people are probably gonna panic and say, oh, this is evil. And it's like, no, you know, the unwanted gifts, you know, these hurts, man, these trickeries, these thefts, these betrayals, all of that stuff, it's got to go back. Energy doesn't die. And, you know, the divine said that your intention will be your gift. So if this is what they're putting out there onto people, it has to go back to them. You know, the Most High isn't going to make other people who are love carry that. It's got to stay with the person who's generating the intention. In this new cycle, just a few reads back, it stated that in this new cycle, everybody has to carry their own cross. Nobody else is responsible. They can't just go steal stuff to make their life okay and then ruin other people's lives. That's not how it's going to work. So you're releasing the baggage, you're moving to calmer waters, and these ones are being held back, or maybe they're holding back. They're being held back. You're leaving them behind. They're going under. They don't know what to do. And we've got fate. Fate. They may be getting some readings. They may be using divination tools or whatever to try to read this, but this is what it's telling them. So Queen of Wands has not given up her life. She's determined to live, which has caused them a missed opportunity. They're unable to free themselves from a sticky situation, and they cannot tap into her mind. They cannot tap into her mind. They want to. They're trying really hard to restrict this reunion, but they can't bring an ending to it. And they're full of doubt. Look, we got eternal love, man. This Queen of Wands is determined for eternal love, and these ones are challenged by it. It's that her soulmate is challenging them big time. They're together in this Ten of Cups union, reunited right here. They couldn't bring an ending to it. So they've got defeat here. Five of Swords. This is a bully, a thief. You understand exactly what they've been doing. Their cup is empty. They failed to get your stuff, and now they're under judgment. They're under judgment by your family. Your family's calling judgment, whether this be your ancestors or this divine love here. Yeah, they're calling judgment on these people. So yeah, theft, dishonesty, conversation from a distance. They're trying to mess with your mind from a distance in the recent past. They've been doing this a long time, you know. And we've got, this came out, but then it flipped into the reverse. We've got compromise in the reverse. There will be no compromise. And we've got here, oh, look at that. We've got they're being stopped and they're being confined. There's no compromise. They will stop. And these third wheel enemies will be confined. Why? Because you're calm. Because you kept your cool. You kept your cool. So now they're restricted. They are restricted from this reunion. They could not bring an end to it. They're having doubts about their profession. They don't know what to do. They're having doubts about the work that they do, and they should, because they failed here. It's a failure. It didn't work. Whatever they thought they were doing, it didn't work. So we got the Ten of Cups, divine love here. True love. Blissful relationships. This is a soul tie you're always connected to, and you're leaving it behind. These people who don't know that there's no greater goal than to love, you're leaving them behind. You've taken it as far as you can go. You know, they chose what they have chosen, and you are okay. You're stable. You're leaving them behind. Emperor reversed, a tyrant dominator, feeling the pain from the damage they've caused. They've been found guilty of causing crazy drama. Now they're stuck in crazy drama. They have no peace. They have no balance. It could be like they're out of balance. They have no peace. They're thinking about your luck, or maybe this is their reward. Your strength is here. You're compassionate and you're courageous. You could be an influencer, or maybe you're influencing people by this strength that you are sharing. But it's subtle power. Like, you're not out there being flamboyant. Look, she's got a dress on. You know, she's not out there messing around, you know, wrestling. I mean, she's wrestling. She's not even wrestling that line. She's just like, open your mouth, kitty. So cool under pressure. And so you got this reflection here who wasn't paying attention to what was important, man. They're like, oh no, because they can't tap into you. You're too strong. So now they want forgiveness. Oh, they're furious. They're furious because they fell into a trap. They're trapped. They're furious because they are in a trap. They want forgiveness. They have offended you in a big way. They're having a whole bunch of unpleasant stuff happening to them. There's madness here. They could be mad. They could be mad in the mental. Like, they could be having something going on in the mental body. King of Pentacles got his pentacles from just another notch in the headboard. Non-love relationships. This is a passion project. This is a lustful person who has sex in order to extract the wealth and abundance from whoever he's having a relationship with. The stress is draining them. They're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed by your marriage. They're overwhelmed by your marriage and your alliances. They're overwhelmed by this sweet love. They can't cause an ending for it. They fell in, they're trapped. Your alliances are like, hey, this is your family. They're like, hey, this isn't cool, man. So you got protection here. You're standing up for yourself. You're maintaining control in regards to this unconventional hypocrite here, trying to dominate your life. They're protesting. You're a being of service. You feel good when you can help others, and they're protesting. They're struggling because they're not being supported anymore. People are gossiping about this. See, you're a being of service. You're here to help others, and they're protesting this. They just want to control and dominate, and have a good freaking time while making everybody else sick and lonely. I mean, that's been their strategy, is to create conflict for people. They could be fighting amongst each other now because you have triumphed. You have a victory here. It could be that your prayers have been answered. You're sleeping well. You're having sweet dreams. I don't know if you remember your dreams, but you're comfortable there. And it could be that you're dreaming about this business or this real estate or this union, this divine love, this promise. So yeah, there was a mask wearer here trying to pretend that they are the gift, trying to steal your gift, trying to steal your vitality, your vital force, and take your place in this union here. But you remained calm. You've got inner peace. So now they're sick. They're just sick because you love yourself. And you're like, look, I love myself and I'm going to live my life. And it doesn't really matter, what you want, So we get ready for some natural disaster because they're getting rejected. It's like they're going through withdrawals here. Look, death, this is over. They're being cast away and they're in a nightmare. Your stuff isn't their stuff. And everybody can see that your stuff isn't their stuff. And everybody can see that they're trying to destroy your union here. This union that is here to... the stuff they want to spend and dominate and then flash around like they're, the it thing. You're giving it away. Making them look bad. So there's a change here. You're moving on. And you're holding these ones back, or they're being held back by the divine. These foes. They're being held back. You're moving on, and they don't know what to do. They're going under. This is fate, fortune telling. You could be using divination tools. Oops. Fate. Wedding. Yeah, there's a wedding. They're going under because of this wedding. The wedding it was meant to be. It's meant to be eternal love. Queen of Wands, confidence, determined. She wants to live her life. They tried so hard to destroy it, and they missed their opportunity. They can't tap into her mind anymore. They're tangled up in this web. They're unable to free themselves. They've got eternal love is together. Eternity of eternal love. These people are false. They're challenged because they were lying. They were lying. About what? About you and your eternal love? About your consistency? That you always wanted to be this? They lied. They lied about you. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got defeated. You have an understanding of what's been going on. Their cup is empty. They were not able to get your stuff. They failed. They're under judgment by your family. Or there could be a whole family. No, this is your family. You've got a faithful family here. And they're calling judgment on these people. They failed. And there's some serious stuff happening right now. So they were trying to get away with something tricky. They've been trying to do telepathy from a distance. There's no compromise. They're being stopped and they're losing their freedom here. Third wheel enemy. They may have lost a companion. A spouse. So they're being restricted. They could be facing imprisonment for what they've been doing against this reunion here. They could not bring an ending to it. They're in doubt about all the work that they've done. Waiting. They're waiting for something to happen. They know something's going to happen. They got this they're restricted. There's divine love is happening. You've got 10 of Cups here. Blissful relationships in the near future. A soul tie, always connected. You're leaving it behind. These people who don't know that there's no greater goal than to love. These people who don't love, you're leaving them behind, and you're stable. You're okay. You're harmonious inside. You know, you're doing real well. Wink. You're okay. You're doing fine. They're not happy about it. They wanted you to just, you know, curl up in the fetal position on the floor and cry until you just, you know, ran out of internal waters or something. Priest in the reverse. Priest in the reverse. Hierophant in the reverse. Emperor in the reverse. Priest in the reverse. You're leaving them behind. And you're okay. Wild, man. Wild. Amazing. Emperor reverse. Stubborn, tyrant, dominator, reckless, guilty, feeling the pain from the damage they've caused. They got caught up in a crazy drama and they don't have any peace. They're out of balance. They have no balance. And that could be their reward. Surprise in the reverse. Like there's no surprise. They can't bring any surprises to you. That's their jackpot. Isn't a surprise. Something's coming up out of the waters. It's no surprise. Or maybe your luck is no surprise. Take it as it resonates. You're very strong here and courageous. And you got a reflection here. A haughty, you know, snotty reflection. Somebody who's pretending, an actor, not paying attention to what was important. Furious. Mad. They fell into a trap. They want forgiveness here. Prison. So they're imprisoned. They're losing their freedom. And that was over here too, confinement. Yeah, this isn't working out very well for them. King of Pentacles. They got their King of Pentacles status by sleeping with people for money, basically. They're a thief. They sleep with them. They don't have any love with them. They just sleep with them, and then they drain their bank accounts and their love accounts and, you know, screw up their freaking temple, which houses their soul. And you've got a marriage here. They're afraid of that. You got a sweet love, and you have alliances. Your family is here, faithful and true, calling judgment on this. Your family is something else. And they're not playing. They're not messing around here. Conversation. So you got the sweet love marriage. You got alliances that know that you are trustworthy, honest, and true. And people are talking about it. This could be gossip. Maybe you're talking to people. Maybe you're telling your story. Maybe you're letting everybody know what has happened. Or maybe that's what people are talking about, what these people actually did to you. And they were real happy about it. Standing up for yourself, maintaining control in this competition with a Hierophant reverse, with the Hypocrite. People are talking about it. They no longer support this person. You're a being of service. You feel good when you can help others, and the people know it. They're protesting. There's a merchant. There's a merchant that's protesting. Oh, they owe the merchant. So this merchant, that's the service that they have provided. This merchant they're protesting. This merchant wants to be serviced. They want what they want. Oh, these guys are in trouble. They owe a debt to the merchant. They probably got favors, received services. Oh, we got cheerfulness. They're sighing because you're happy. Yeah, you're happy. You're here. These pleasure seekers, these enemies of yours, they were having a great time. But now they're sighing because you're happy. There's an old woman here who's in despair and suffering a misfortune and a death. It looks like an ending. There could be an ending to the knowledge, to this scholar thief. They were trying to steal the gifts that belonged to a lover. And now they're sick. Now they're sick. They could have a friend that's sick. And this wife is joyful. Or maybe, yeah, the wife is joyful. So she's happy here. And somebody's in melancholy because they got to go out. They got to make a journey. They got to move out of the house. They've been kicked out of the house. The Lord and his sweetheart have a fortune, or they are a fortune. This soldier is sick about it. Sick, yeah. And the snotty ones are getting the message. The servant foes of love, those who were getting paid, they wanted the money. Servant, foe of love, they just wanted the money that belongs to love, but they don't have any love in them. And unfortunately for them, you know, they picked on somebody who was consistently innocent. And there is a reunion here. So this wife and the Lord, there is a reunion here. The Ten of Cups union, the soul tie, it's already there. It's already there. It's already happened. Yeah. Well, I'm going to leave that here. I hope that this brings clarification to something you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.